Okay, y'all. All right, y'all. So we gonna gossip Wendy Williams. Okay, so this Wendy Williams situation has created mass hysteria. I think everybody thought that Wendy Williams was a vegetable. We're like, wait a minute, what is going on? I thought that she was mentally incapacitated. We thought she was incapacitated. Like, I thought that Wendy Williams was a vegetable. Did Wendy Williams get Britney Spears? First of all, I think it's safe to say that Wendy and Britney Spears has two very different mental illness diagnoses. Wendy Williams has frontal temporal aphasia, alcohol induced dementia. I think I said all those words that they included in the diagnosis. I don't know. Britney Spears' diagnosis is bipolar. Okay, so we got apples and oranges, and I don't think it's fair to even compare the two of them. The only thing we're comparing the two of them, they were both in a conservatorship. We first have to observe the fact and acknowledge the fact of why Wendy Williams and Britney Spears ended up in a conservatorship in the first place. It doesn't look like Wendy had anyone in charge of her money. It looks like she had no trust. It looks like she had no one. Hasn't done any succession planning. It looks like her son Kevin was just gallivanting through her money. Her husband obviously started a new family, so he's out the picture. Her niece, as much as her niece is fighting for Wendy, which I think is a very good job, I cannot see Wendy trusting her finances, and I can't see Wendy allowing her niece to be her health proxy. Like, I just don't see that, because Wendy Williams is the kind of person who doesn't like anybody telling her what to do. Like, she's a firecracker. Like, she's very stubborn. And I just, as much as I know her niece is riding really hard for her, her niece still submits to Wendy, and I can't see Wendy submitting to her niece. So let's get to why Wendy was in this conservatorship in the first place, and what her current state is looking like to me right now. So Wendy ended up in a conservatorship because when Wendy went before a judge, she was clearly not in her right state of mind. She was clearly not lucid or coherent, and she most likely probably was incompetent, and let's keep it a buck, she was definitely intoxicated. With Wendy, that I think that her conservator and her lawyers and all of them are concerned about is, will she get her hands on some alcohol? Because the whole thing, we saw the diagnosis with her son Kevin, and Kevin said that it was alcohol induced. So now that Wendy is in this restricted facility where she is unable to get her hands on alcohol, I think that's why they're being so strict on her, because they know that Wendy is very powerful. They know that she's very strong, and they know that if Wendy wanted to, if she got out of that facility, she can get her hands on some alcohol. And we all know that alcohol is what got her in there in the first place. Watch the documentary. So I think this all is boiled down to the care of Wendy, who Wendy entrusts her estate with, and is Wendy capable of making sound decisions if she was to be released? Wendy Williams is a very stubborn person. I met Wendy Williams in real life. Y'all saw my TikTok on that. Okay, she's a very stubborn person, and I don't think she would submit to her niece being her health proxy. So I think that's what the issue is, and I think that she's going to be stuck in this conservatorship for a pretty long time, because this is all coming down to money at this point. Them lawyers, them doctors, that conservator, and all the other lawyers, or whoever's fighting for this lifetime or this A&E thing, they all got to get paid. Wendy's the one that's paying for all of this, and as long as Wendy's money is long, she's gonna be stuck in there. Because you know what? If she had someone designated, even if she had someone designated, you don't know. This came down to the judge. This came down to the judge's discretion, based on Wendy's cognitive functions when she went before that judge. And when that judge observed how she was, he knew there was something deeply wrong with her. He knew that her condition was serious based on his observation. And that's what entered her into the conservatorship program in the first place, which is making it look like she's basically stuck. She is going to be stuck. They have a full diagnosis. They've got record on top of records to prove that she does have dementia. Now, I don't think she's in denial of the fact that she has dementia, but she wants her freedom. And it's like, basically, they're probably telling her, well, you can't really have that much freedom because, we don't trust that you ain't going to get out the facility and start drinking again. So I don't know how she's going to be able to convince a judge or anybody that if she gets out of this facility, she's not going to drink. And who's going to police the fact that she wasn't going to drink? We watched her documentary, and them people she had around her was basically encouraging her to drink. Okay, they actually made her worse because they were just letting her do what she wanted to do, except her manager when he tried to like switch it out for like apple juice, because he knew that she was so intoxicated that she wouldn't even know if there was alcohol in there or not anymore. That's how bad she was. This all comes down to money. I think it's going to be very difficult for her to get out. I don't know why people are taking a GoFundMe, because it's like your money just going to go to her lawyers. Like, it's just going to go to her lawyers. She ain't going to be able to spend that money. She's in the facility. And Lord only knows how much it costs for her to be in that facility every single day. Like, I would imagine that facility is very, very, very expensive for her to be in there. And they are very, very strict with her. They're not allowing her to go to her father's birthday party because they know there's probably going to be alcohol there. That's what I think the biggest thing is like, no, we can't let her out because she's going to get her hands on some alcohol. And alcohol could probably progress and speed up her condition where it probably she won't be around much longer because it's got to be severe. Just the fact that she sounds lucid and cognitive doesn't mean that she ain't got dementia. It doesn't mean that she doesn't need a health proxy. But like I say, they would have to agree to the health proxy. And as much as everybody want to believe it, her niece is not it. And I don't think Wendy Williams trusts any of her family members. I just don't. I know they love her, but I don't think she trusts them. And I don't think, now it's up to the conservatorship to like grant her freedom. And this is going to be just interesting and wild. And I think it's all going to boil down to the money running down. And then you got to ask yourself, if Wendy Williams gets out, is she going to be like Britney Spears, twirling around with Hallmark ribbon just stuck in between her ass? And we got to have to watch that? Because with Britney Spears ain't really working. She grabs her iPad and she just starts dancing. And she's not doing anything. So her money, whatever money Britney Spears, I'm sure that money is like, got to be depleting. So is Wendy Williams going to get out and just start dancing on her iPad? I mean, I don't want to see that. But at the same time, it's like, dang, what can she do? Who even knows? Like, who even knows? Because if she get her hands on some alcohol, she's going to end up right back in there. And that's all I'm going to say.